guys, so I'll turn it over to him.
You know, this past week I was able to just look back and reflect and evaluate the season. And we know this, we didn't perform the way we should have. Offensively, it's all about scoring points. Defensively, it's all about just stopping people. We were not a consistent team week in and week out. We know we have to improve and we have to get better. Offensively, we just want to be an up-tempo team that can move the football and then get first downs and just be exciting to watch. And defensively, we know where we are. We just got to execute better, have a plan in place, but we had to execute better. It isn't about the offense. It isn't about the defense. It isn't about the special teams. But it's about us not only as a team, but as a coaching staff. But it's all about just team chemistry. And this week I've made some changes on offense. And I would like to introduce our new additions to our coaching staff. Unbelievable coaches. You know, two guys that have worked together, have worked at a lot of different places. And the good thing about one is that he was a high school coach here, Texas high school coach. Did a great job everywhere they've been. And I'd just like to start it off with our offensive coordinator. They're going to come to the podium here in a second. But our offensive coordinator and Sterlin Gilbert, and our run game coordinator will be Matt Mattox. And more importantly, I'd like to just thank our president, President Finbaz, and our athletic director, Mike Perrin, for all the support they gave us. And I noticed you guys followed us up to Tulsa last week. They made that trip with us. But the reason why they did come was just to show the support they have, not only for me, but also for this program and also for the people involved. But I let Sterling, let him take the podium first and let him introduce himself, and don't be too hard on him. All right, Roger?
Sterling's going to open up with a couple words, and then raise your hand if you have a question. We'll pass the mic around to you.
How's everybody doing today? Sterling Gilbert, just extremely excited and blessed to be at the University of Texas. Just echo what Coach just said. We'd really like to thank President Finibus, Mike Perrin, and then Coach for allowing us to be here. So we're here, our feet are on the ground. Our feet are on the ground means we're ready to go to work. And the next thing I'm looking forward to is seeing and meeting our kids.
Questions? Start up front in the middle with Brian.
Hey, Sterling. Hi, Brian Davis from the Austin American
Hey, Brian.
Statesman. Number one, do you know what you're getting into? You fully understand it?
Without a doubt.
Yeah?
Without a doubt. We're excited about being here. Coach just said what he wants. He was looking for an up-tempo offense, a guy with Texas ties, and being able to coach quarterbacks. And, you know, that's what I've got a background in. Obviously, bringing Matt with me is huge and a piece of that. So we're just excited to get to work.
And along those lines, speaking of the quarterbacks, what have you had any interaction with Gerard or Tyrone yet? Do you have any thoughts on what is currently here quarterback-wise?
Not yet. It's been a recruiting weekend, so haven't had time to evaluate film in the process. That's one of the next things on my list, to sit down and evaluate, go through film, and see where we're at that position.
Middle, Sean.
Sean Adams, AM 1300 The Zone. When you get to the assessment phase of trying to figure out where you are, you know, you're kind of juggling recruiting and the assessment phase. How do you work into that, and do you just take the whole roster and kind of scour the whole thing and see what you have?
Well, the good thing is, starting today, we're in a dead period. So, you know, recruiting is always recruiting. It's still there, but we've got a little downtime right now to start evaluating, start looking, and figuring out where the pieces fit and how they're going to fit and what we do offensively.
On your right, Chip.
Chip Brown, Sterling.
Hey, Chip.
What, in terms of conversations with Charlie, what did you need, you know, staff-wise to get this offense installed the way you want it, taught the way you want it, to evolve the way you want it?
That big guy standing right there to my left, okay, that's why he's here. That's the number one piece. And, you know, we've been together for a while now and understand how each other work, how this offense fits, and especially, you know, him being an O-line guy and, you know, me being a quarterback guy from that perspective. But, you know, like I said, our feet are on the ground. It's time to go to work, and that's what we're here to do.
Over here on your left, Mike.
Sterling, Mike Finger, San Antonio Express News. You kind of got a taste of the media spotlight last week during all of this. I'm wondering what that week was like for you, and did you at first have hesitations about coming here, and kind of what put your mind at ease about taking the job?
You know, media is media. that's y'all's job. We got a job to do. Y'all got a job to do. And, you know, I'm going to do my job. But with that said, you know, there was several people that were very instrumental in this decision that I leaned on as mentors. The first guy is Art Browse. That man's a high character guy, and he's a guy I leaned on numerous times through this process. And y'all know we were in the middle of recruiting. He's in the middle of recruiting, and I never called him one time he didn't answer the phone. So I leaned on him very heavily. Dino Babers, another high character guy, a guy that I coached with, answered every phone call that I fielded to him. So those guys are really important to me. They're mentors. They're guys I coached with, coached for, coached under. And, you know, they were heavy and very instrumental in me sitting here today.
Stand to the left, Cedric.
Sterling Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. Were you and Matt a package deal, and how much did him coming affect your decision to also take the job?
It was huge. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a cow-calf deal, but, I mean, it was a huge part of us being here. And it's just a fit, you know, for us both, what he does up front and what we do from our perspective with the skill guys. It's just a fit, and we've done it. You know, this'll be, you know, the third time, you know, fourth time we've been together doing this and installing this offense.
In the middle, Dennis.
Coach Dennis Delabrani from Fox here in Austin. What you're talking about, the fact that you guys have been together and succeeded, what are the realistic expectations for your offense and your quarterback in particular to succeed at a high level right out of the gate?
It's about progression. You know, that's what we're looking for from day one until day 21. It's all about progression. So, you know, when we start, there's always a base, and then it's always where we're trying to go. So we're looking for steady progression, always progress, never regress. We're going to coach our kids hard. We're going to coach them. They're going to have fun. You know, we just got to see them, got to get our hands on them, got to see them go through off-season workouts, see them compete, see them lift, and then, you know, we'll get the install phase of the offense going.
Back here on the left, Ryan.
Sterling Ryan, Atulo, Austin, American Statesman. I'm just curious, yours and Matt's relationship. I mean, are you guys hanging out, families vacationing together? I mean, you guys, the fourth straight stop you guys have been together.
I mean, we're close. Obviously, I'm very close with his family. You know, it goes back to our days at the University of Houston when we were both GA in there. So yeah, I mean, we're tight if that's what you want to know. And I'm very close to Matt's family. I get my kid fixed with Coach's daughters when my nieces aren't around. So we're really close.
On your right, Anwar.
Coach, it's Anwar Richardson from Orange Bloods. Ultimately, after you spoke to, you know, Coach Strong and Coach Riles and other people, what eventually led you to the decision to come to Austin?
It's a great opportunity. You know, it's the University of Texas, and that's why I'm standing here today.
In the middle, Roger.
Sterling Roger Wallace from NBC in Austin. What does it mean to you as a guy that grew up in the state, a high school background, to be in this position at UT?
It's huge. The core of me, I'm a Texas high school football coach, and so to be able to stand here today is very important to me. I feel it's very important for the Texas high school coaches, and I've got numerous texts, numerous calls from guys I've coached with, guys that I've networked with, guys that I know throughout the state of Texas that are very excited about this. They're very excited about the process and helping get the University of Texas back where it needs to be.
In the back, Bob.
Bob Blue, CBS here in Austin. What are your major offensive philosophies?
Fast, physical, you know, have fun, and score points.
On your left, Alex.
Hey, Coach. Alex Dunlap, Orange Bloods, Sirius XM. Very nice to have you here.
Thanks, Alex.
I guess just expanding on his question, just for fans that maybe aren't familiar with what you did at Tulsa or what you've done at previous stops, can you just give a little bit of an outline about, you know, your offense with some kind of descriptive words about it?
You probably just start with up tempo. I mean, we kind of base out of the spread, but we also run the football. I think we were around 2,500 yards rushing this year. I think Dane finished number 7 in the nation, so we're pretty balanced. We're more balanced than what people realize. You know, those two backs we got sitting right here on campus, you know, we're really excited about because of our run game and what we do.
In the middle.
Coach, as you know, we talked to Charlie Strong when he first got the job, and he talked about, you know, the fact that he felt there was a legacy that he represented, he wanted to be successful in that. When you deal as a former high school coach, do you look at it and say, I want to make sure I'm successful because there are other high school coaches that might be able to follow that same line?
Without a doubt. I mean, there's a standard here, and obviously, you know, you want to fall in line with the greats that have came through here, and you know that's our job. Coach Strong has done an unbelievable job of setting the base and setting the standard here at the University of Texas for the direction we're going. And right now, it's our job to continue that, and not only continue that, but to better that.
Back on your left, Max.
Hey, Sterlin, Max Olson, ESPN.com. You went through the first-year install with Bowling Green, with Tulsa. Does that kind of help going into this one when you kind of know how to teach this one and get it started right?
Yeah, it does. Like I said, this will be the fourth time with the install, so I think I've got it down. So no, we're excited about it. It'll be a good situation, a good process for us. Again, that's the one thing, you're standing here on campus, and I haven't seen our kids yet, and that's what this whole deal is about, our kids. And I'm ready to see them, get my hands on them, talk to them, and start creating those relationships with them.
In the middle, Kirk.
Kirk Bolton with American Statesman. Did you get to see Texas play at any time this year? And would you be opposed to playing a true freshman quarterback or a JUCO quarterback?
I did not get to see Texas play this year. You know, obviously when you're coaching on Saturdays and all that, then you don't see much college football. We're going to play the best guy, and the best guy that helps us win.
In the middle, Brian.
Sterling, a lot was made, and a lot is always made here about calling plays. With the way that the staff has input on the game plan during the course of the week, do you think it's an overrated deal of who's actually, sending in the play on Saturday? Is that overrated? Is it underrated? And the fact that you haven't done that yourself, is that a big deal?
Well, I'm not going to say it's overrated, and I have. When I was with Dino, I called plays. So, but it's not an overrated deal. All I know is within this offense, everybody's got an integral part of it, and schematically and game management on game day. So there's voices being heard, voices being listened to, and we make it work.
On your right, Chip.
Sterling, I guess you've had a chance to meet Jeff Traylor. Obviously, he was on the plane. Your thoughts on Jeff, a fellow former high school coach, and how he fits into things?
Yeah, I love Jeff. You started it and said it right there. Former Texas high school football coach. I don't know whose accent's heavy or mine or Traylor's, but he's a great man. He's a man of high integrity. He's a high character guy. He loves kids. And, the thing about being a Texas high school football coach, when that's the core of you, it's built on relationships. That's the only way you survive in high school football is on relationships, because year in, year out, you don't get to recruit, you get. All right, and when that happens, you've got to have great relationships with kids from the time they're in 7th grade all the way up till they graduate. So, the way we are with kids, the way we are around kids really goes back to our high school background.
In the middle, Jim.
Jim Vertuno with the Associated Press. It was pretty unusual that President Fenves would make the trip up to personally, I guess, recruit you to this job. Was that a request of yours to meet with him? Can you walk us kind of through how that meeting went? Who led the final negotiations there? Was it Coach Strong? Was it President Fenves? And I guess essentially, what did it mean to you that he was there?
That situation was about commitment, and it was about commitment about me getting here, and I'm here now, and that's it.
In the front, Dennis.
Coach, what is the particular skill set or intangibles that you need from your quarterback to make your offense go?
You just look for a guy that can sling it around, that's accurate, can process things. You want a guy that's highly, highly competitive. If you were looking at a high school kid, you want to be able to see, was he successful in high school? Did he win a lot? I mean, those are the kinds of kids we want to recruit, are high character kids, highly competitive kids, and kids that are winners, especially at the quarterback position. And then you love those kids to be dual athlete kids, dual sport kids, that they're playing multiple sports in high school.
Where's the arm strength rate for you?
I think it's it's up there, but it's not the sole factor for what we do.
All set. Thank you, Sterling. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Matt Mattox.
How y'all doing today? First off, I want to say thanks to President Finvez, Mr. Perrin, and Coach Strong for giving me this opportunity for not only myself, but my wife Stacy, my daughters Kirby and Macy. It's a great honor for us to be able to be here at the University of Texas, and it's very easy for my wife to pull back out all the Longhorn gear that she's had to put away for a little bit. So definitely excited for the opportunity and answer any questions that you have right now.
Start in front with Dennis.
Coach Dennis Sterlin from the Fox here in town. From your vantage point, what do you think about what you're inheriting in the way that the two main running backs that Texas has?
Oh, well, number one thing we're going to do is have a physical run game. We're going to be a downhill type team, and having multiple backs that can go do that for you, it's going to be a great opportunity. And to have those, I'll get a chance to really sit down and watch some more film, not only on those guys, but obviously what we have coming back offensive line-wise and where things are going to fit. But it's never going to be mad at guys that can make you look good when some things aren't going right.
On the right, Chip.
Yeah, if you could just talk about your coaching style. Sterlin said we're going to coach them hard, and then your view of recruiting and just the importance of recruiting.
Yeah, no doubt. We're gonna coach them hard, but at the end of the day, we're gonna love them hard too. It's got to be about an open relationship between myself and the players, and for O-line and really a lot of positions, it boils down to technique and fundamentals. And once we give those guys that base and their tool belt, they'll be able to handle a lot of different situations. And then it's just about the scheme part of it and putting them in the best situations to go win. Recruiting-wise, always looking for big athletic guys that can bend, can move, that are physical. When you turn on film, it's easier to pull them back than it is to tell them to go attack. So we definitely like that and want that style of offensive lineman when we're looking for them.
In the middle, Brian.
Matt, I don't know that fans really understand why offensive line play and the style of play is so important to kind of a spread system. Maybe if you could just explain a little bit of that and why you and Sterlin go hand in hand.
Yeah, no, the physicality part is something that you have to embrace of every game, whether you're offense or defense. Go back to Pee Wee ball, it comes down to blocking and tackling, and that it doesn't change a lot all the way up. So, being able to out-physical your opponent, to be able to, by the end of the fourth quarter and getting into the fourth quarter, to wear people down physically. And running the ball is one way that can make a defensive coordinator break down more than anything. They'll give up a long pass, but when you can just pound it on them and be able to consistently run the football, it's tough on them. So that's something that we really blend well with his quarterback coaching, and then what I've been able to do in this offense as a O-line guy.
Stay in the middle, Sean.
Coach, obviously with two of you coming from Tulsa, you guys work together, the continuity's there. Does it become a process of kind of coaching the other coaches to do the install? Or what's the process of installing to get the other coaches to understand the philosophy of the offense?
Yeah, a lot of it will just be some verbiage deals, making sure we're all on the same page. There's no egos when we get in that room together, so if they have a technique or something they've used in the past that's something that can fit into what we're doing and we all like it, it's not going to be an issue. A good play is a good play, or a good blocking style is a good blocking style, no matter who takes credit for it. So it really just comes down to the verbiage we like and making sure we're all on the same page. So when we hit the field, there's no gray area between the coaches. The players got to see that and know that we're all on the same page and we're ready to rock.
On the left, Alex.
Hey, Coach. Alex
how you doing?
Dunlap. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
As far as your philosophies with run blocking, do you go one way with being zone minded or man power kind of gap?
Yeah,
is there one thing that you lean to?
We lean on some power schemes, gap schemes, some zone schemes. I had a coach one time tell me that we're going to run a play and it's going to be called mama. When all else fails and you don't know what to do, your girl breaks up with you, you go home and you call mama. And that's going to be power. We're going to run it. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to be physical in whatever we do, whether it's run or pass blocking.
Stand left, Mike.
Mike Finger from San Antonio. Having been through an install 4 times with Sterlin, how dramatic is it? And we've heard that practices completely change. Is that what players here and other coaches here have to be prepared for is completely changing the way you go about things?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a total deal. I mean, I've already talked with a couple of strength coaches we'll get together and, you know, the big guys, it's always a shock for them a little bit, and we understand that. We don't freak out when, you know, after day 2 they can't move or anything like that, or however they get through tempo. You know, normally we take a break, you know, for 5 minutes in the middle of practice. They break. That's their time. They want to lay down. They want to break. They want to catch their breath because they know once we go, we're going to go again. So you just, after doing it for a few years in a row, you get a chance of, hey, this was good, this was bad, we need to do this. So being able to put all those ideas together is something that can just help you, you know, in the future.
Middle, Roger?
Matt, the process of coaching changes happened so fast. I mean, a week ago you're getting closer ready for
Right.
the game. What's it like for you as a coach to all of a sudden you're wearing the UT gear and you're thinking about the UT way and getting players here, just the whole dynamic?
Well, you know, I'm from a small town in Kansas, and I had my brother kind of hit me up about that, saying, man, you live a crazy life. And I said, well, it is a little bit. But at the end of the day, you know, when you get into a room with 17, 18-year-old kids and you're talking about football, it's, you know, that's what I'm comfortable doing, and that's what you're used to doing. So, you know, my eyes work just as well as they did at Butler Community College as they do now. You know, I might get to play with some better athletes, you know, and stuff like that up front. But I've got to trust in what I know as far as technique and what I know as far as building relationships with those kids. And it's obviously the level of play that we're going to experience in the Big 12 is great, and that type of competition. And then being at the greatest university, University of Texas, you know, I'm ready to go out and perform for these guys and help everything else.
On your left, Ryan?
Matt, any good stories from your time at Houston with Sterlin? I'm guessing you're just a bunch of, you know, a couple of broke college kids trying to climb the ranks. What drew you to him, and you knew that he would be a good coach?
Nothing real crazy, I guess. You know, the good thing, social media wasn't really going on back then. I don't know. We didn't have the issues that these kids have today with that type of stuff, and so, you know, I didn't have enough money to really do anything there. So, you know, the best things that we do, and ask if we were tight and if we get along, we do. And obviously, he's been a big part of my family, and my girls love seeing him come over, and you know, we'll make some sausage here and there every now and again, and get after it, put some meat on the smoker, and have a good time. So.
On your right, Anwar?
Hey, Tom Richardson from Orange Plus.
How we doing?
Obviously, how you doing? You came here because of Coach Gilbert, but you also came here to work for Coach Strong. What did you know about him, prior to the interview process, and then what were you able to learn or gather about him during the process that gave you the confidence to come here?
Well, you know, you don't know a ton about. I didn't know a ton about Coach Strong and what was going on, but what I did know is, you know, having the opportunity to sit down not only with myself, my wife got to sit down with me, and we got to talk to Coach Strong, and having him explain the direction we're going with the program, the guys we have coming back, you know, having the administration there and support him and know that we're ready to get this thing going in the right direction was huge. And then my wife getting answers. You know, my kids love to come up to practice, and knowing he's a family man and his daughters are around all the time and stuff like that. You know, that's all stuff that's real important for us, for our family atmosphere as well.
Dennis?
Coach, because you and Sterlin have done this again, time and time again, what's your level of confidence that you can actually come in here and make an immediate impact?
Well, you know, we're confident in what we can do. Obviously, the biggest thing that, and Coach hit it earlier, is we're ready to just get to building those relationships with our players that we have here right now, and that's what it's all going to boil down to. And then it's our job to give them, you know, the tools to go out and get an A. You know, every time on Saturday or whenever we play, it's a chance for them to go get an A on the test, and that's our job as coaches, to make sure that they have everything at their disposal to go get that done.
In the middle, Kirk?
How would you describe Coach Gilbert on game day, and what qualities does he have that make him special for this job?
Well, I mean, he's obviously very knowledgeable in what he's doing, and multiple in being able to attack different areas, you know, during a football game, and being able to adjust when it happens. You know, we all are very competitive, so when we get an opportunity and we smell blood, I know he's gonna go after it, so it'll be good.
In the middle, Sean?
Coach, you talked earlier about coaching them hard, but loving them hard too. Is that your style? Is it always encouraging? Is it a breakdown, build up process? What's your
No, I
mode
mean,
of communication?
yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to be encouraging and help out. I mean, there's obviously times when it's time to get things right and that part. But you know, if they know that you're going to love them hard and you're going to be fair with them, that's the best thing that we can do. Especially O-line guys. I mean, they're big guys. They're pleasers. I mean, they want to go out and do right and do well for everybody. So, you know, having played O-line, especially playing O-line in this system, you know, I can relate to some of the things they go through, and whether it's practice and that type of stuff. So that's you know, a little bit about what I'm going to do, but it's not going to be anything where I'm just tearing them down. I mean, I don't find that to be successful with them. We're going to keep them positive and keep things moving. And the greatest thing about tempo is you got to move on to the next play. You can't worry about the last one.
Anything else for Matt? Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Sterling, can I grab you for a second? Let me take a photo of your coach. Where do you want?
I gotta move this podium. You wanna move this podium? You're up to speed.
All good? Thank you.